Okay, I realize that this is going to be, there's obviously some distraction, but, and that's kind of the first thing I just want to address is that this is obviously different than any other year we've had. Usually what we would do is we would wait till the season was officially over to have our banquet. But we're not allowed to have anything inside, we're not allowed to have food, and so this ended up being such a nice day. I wanted to take advantage and bring everybody out here since we could only do this when we're outside. All right, but our season is still not over. Obviously, our regional guys are going to run Saturday at Marist. There's no spectators allowed, but we just found out today that they are going to live stream it, and I sent that link out to you guys today. So please share it with your parents if they want to watch, but hopefully you, if you're not going to be there, you can at least check out what the team does. At the very least, you'll be able to see what the results are later on Saturday night. That'll all be on IHSA, okay? First of all, I just want to say I'm thankful that first of all, that we got to have a season, okay? Because many of the other sports didn't. And we didn't know if we were even going to be able to run. We went from that to being able to race 8 times, all right? And now we got at least another race coming up. So overall, I'm thankful for the opportunity that we got to run, we got to train, we got to get better, and we got to race 8 times this year, all right? We had 37 boys on the team this year, and 34 of those 37 either ran the fastest time of their life this season, as in comparison to previous seasons, or they were faster at the end than they were at the start of the year. They were a new runner. Okay, and that's always what we're shooting for, is to run our best at the end of the season, and I think we did that. If you look at the PR sheets, almost everybody who ran at Lockport East ran the fastest time of their life. They didn't run it there, they didn't run it in that conference race. Most guys ran it at Brother Rice, which was basically their second to last race. So that's what we shoot for. I thought we were successful in that area, getting better, okay? Just how this works, everybody, if you didn't get one, you should grab a packet. And this packet just has the whole season in it. It has all the results. It has some historical stuff from going back from 2005 to the present. It also has stuff about off-season training and information about track. If you didn't get one of these, please, when you come up here for your individual award, make sure you grab one, okay? Everyone's gonna get an individual award, either from me or from Coach O'Neill, and they just look like this. We'll call you up, we'll explain what your award is, give it to you. Try to make them personal. Some of them are funny, some of them are serious, but they all are, again, they're individual. You're gonna get a card that looks like this, and this is the patch or patches that you'll get. A long time ago, people used to wear these Letterman jackets all the time, and they would sew these letters onto their jackets. You don't see it as much anymore. They still give the patches out. If you want your patches, you have to take your card into the athletic director's office, and the secretary will give you your patch. Okay, if you don't want your patch, you just throw your sheet out. But I would go and get it. It's a good keepsake. You only get one letter for your 4 years, so you can only earn one varsity letter, which is different than the past, but that's how they do it now. So you'll get one of these, all right? Everybody is gonna get a sheet. I just found out about this today. Mrs. Conroy put together a video. Now, for those of you who have run the last 3 years, you know that our banquet, we usually have a nice video while we're eating dinner. Obviously, we can't do that this year. Mrs. Conroy still put together a video for you, and you can view it on YouTube using this link. So, thank you to her. I know she's not here to actually thank, but I'll send her a letter or note. Make sure if you see Mrs. Conroy, you thank her, but a good way to thank her is to get a lot of views on that video. Everybody go and watch the video, all right? So you're gonna get one of these. Then last, we have our 5 major awards that Coach and I discuss, and we'll do those at the end. Those are, we've been giving those out, we've been making and giving those out since 2005. It's a big deal if you win one of those, all right? So we'll do those, we'll talk about those at the end, okay? All right, first, Actually, you know what? Let's. You ready? All right. Coach O'Neill's gonna go first. He's gonna talk about half of you guys, and then I'm gonna do the other half. It's just individual work. When he calls, you come on up, and I'll give you your other sheets.
All right. First guy you get to talk about is Dan Zajac. And you can come up here. You guys can clap for him too. So Dan is going to get the toughness award. You had a hard time running consistently when you first started, and you also battled injuries. Neither of those things stopped you from improving by 7 minutes and 25 seconds. Your toughness is impressive and will be the reason you get better the next 3 years.
Guys, we can't like shake hands this year, so just realize that. I would love to shake everybody's hand. We're not allowed to do that. Okay.
All right, Christian Zajac. It's maintain momentum. Although you were comfortable running at the start of the season, it was obvious you learned how to race by the end. After other races, you dropped over 4 minutes off your PR and moved up the leaderboard. With a solid off season, you could be a top cross-off runner next year. Christian Zajac. Ian Woolen gets Walk to Run award. As the season went on, it was clear you started to figure out what it takes to be a distance runner. You excelled on long runs, and your work ethic paid off with a 43-second improvement. You were also a great teammate. We're excited to see what you can do the next 3 years. Hunter Vasquez. Nick Pizzana. Nick gets Just the Beginning award. As the season went on, it was clear you started to figure out what it takes to be a distance runner. You excelled on long runs, and your work. Oh no, this is wrong.
Go back.
Might have to have a redo.
I'm telling you, you're recording, bro.
How many subscribers you got?
Are you recording? Of course he is.
Sorry, Nick. I printed the wrong award.
All good. Nick Pizzana.
I'll get you one. Here. Lucas gets Slow Summer, Fast Fall. You didn't train much over the summer. You did a good job growing your hair out. You had a slow start to the season. You worked your way back into shape and PR'd at Brother Rice. If you commit to running in the off-season and show up in shape, you're going to have a solid 2 years. Teddy gets me and my buddy award. Joined cross country as a sophomore. Spent most of your time with Trevor, training and racing. You two finished with less than 4 seconds separating your PRs. Training together in the off season, you will both continue to climb the leaderboard. I have Trevor. Trevor, come up. Trevor gets the same award as me and my buddy award.
Let's go, Trevor, bro. Let's go.
Trevor's got a shirt on. Okay, you got the same exact award. Good job, buddy.
Really just stole the Broncos logo. They did.
Can I give Trevor's to somebody on accident? No? I know, it was the first one.
Sorry, he's an avid
Conrad!
Trevor's an avid
Conrad
that has urban outfitters.
Conrad gets the small sample size award. You started late in the season and had some injury issues. However, you quietly went about the business of getting better, and by the end, you became comfortable as a runner. If you work in the off-season, you can be competitive the next 2 years. Thank you, Conrad. Jack Truba gets the Perseverance Pays Award. You struggled to run a mile when you started. 2 months later, you dropped over 11 minutes off your 3-mile PR. That's the biggest drop on the team, and it happened because you refused to give up. That perseverance will continue to pay off the next 3 years. Nick Moreno gets the Positive Progression Award. You started slow, but once you learned how to train and race hard, your time started dropping. By the end of the year, your PR was over 4 minutes better than your first race. Make running a consistent part of your life, and you will continue to cut time. program gained a happy, likable, great teammate. You daily lighten the move, but you still worked hard and ended up improving by over 3 minutes from first to last. Your last race, 2 more great years to come.
Kevin, let's go.
David K gets Kick Around the Idea Award. With very minimal practice and racing, you were still one of the top brush-off runners. We know you love soccer, but your natural talent can make you very successful at this sport. We've had athletes do both in the past. Think about it. David K. Simon is not here. Christian Jennings is here. And as is Ever you get the late start award. You spent much of your time this summer in Wisconsin. So you started late with us. By the end of the season, you were getting back in your groove, but you never reached that previous season best. Be in shape on day 1 next year and finish your senior year strong. Adam Einhorn gets the Silent Success Award. You didn't say much in your first season, but your improvements spoke volumes. You dropped your PR by over 3 minutes. Over the course of the season, running great at Brother Rice. Work hard in the offseason and continue to improve the next 3 years.
Daus, let's go.
Daus. You had an immediate impact on the team as one of our most consistent top cross-off runners. Early in the season, you had the baggy shorts under your racing shorts. You switched to the fresh shorts. You dropped time with a huge PR at Brother Rice. Good job. Evan gets Shoot for Soft Year Award. You know basketball is your sport of choice, but you have a solid future as a distance runner. You dropped over 2 minutes from the start of the season and experienced the conference championship. Enjoy basketball and then start working toward a great cross-season, sophomore cross-season. All right, so here we go. I got Joel first. Joel, come on down. All right, so as all of you guys know, the only reason we have Joel with us this year is because football didn't happen. He's a football player. He's a sprinter. He came out and ran cross country to give something else a try and stay busy. Well, he turned out to be our second best sophomore on the team, and there's no doubt he's very good at this sport. The award he's getting is commit to distance. I know guys have already been in his ear about giving distance track a try and then hopefully running again with us next year. I have no doubt he can help the varsity as a junior. Good job, Joe. Wow. All right, Grant. Where's Grant Shunts? Come on down, Grant. All right, so as I mentioned at our last home race, Grant is one of 4 seniors, but Grant is only one of 3 guys that ran for 4 years. And 4 years ago, Grant had a hard time finishing runs. I know I talked about this before. He has worked so hard over the course of 4 years. He's dropped over 3 minutes cumulatively during that time. He still is very quiet, just like he was when he walked in here as a freshman, but he's grown a lot, and the program thanks him. We're giving him 4-year fight award. All right, Nick Gala. Nick Gala, come on down.
Oh, there's Nick.
All right, so Nick, like a few other guys on the team, I think because of the chaos in the summer, wasn't really able to have a good summer training. And because of that, he had a slow start. Now, we're giving him the Commit to Cross Award because I still don't think we really got to see what he can do as a runner because of the fact that it took almost a month and a half to get him back in shape. But he did have a good end of the season at the conference race, and I really think that if he commits and has a good summer of training, he can really help us next year as a junior. Good job, Nick. All right, Gabe Duda is up next.
Yeah.
Gabe Duda, again, another 4-year cross-country guy who I talked about for the first 2 years of his running as having all this potential. He could really be a top runner.
and then he decided to just lift weights constantly and get huge, and his body can't run as fast because he's so big. So he still ran hard this year. He competed like he always did. We're giving him Suns Out, Guns Out award. He's shirtless. He's enlisted in the Navy, if you guys don't know. So he's finishing. He's graduating in January. So wish him good luck. You're not going to see him for a while. Thanks for everything. All right, Adam, truth or fact. On down. All right, Adam's getting the Solid Sophomore Award. Adam, again, as you guys know, he was one of 2 underclassmen that consistently were on varsity, and Adam scored in every race that he ran this year for us, meaning he was top 5. He ran an awesome race last Saturday at conference. He ended up PRing by 43 seconds, and I really think that this is just the beginning for Adam, as I do for a lot of you guys, that we've just kind of scratched the surface of what he can do. I'm excited to see what he can do Saturday in the big race at regionals, and I'm really looking forward to the next 2 years. Good job, Adam. All right, Aiden Baker is next. Baker.
You did.
All right, so Aiden had what I would say a mediocre season up until last Saturday night, or last Friday night. He hadn't PR'd from his sophomore year, hadn't run many races that I thought were reflected what he can do. So he came out Friday night and he's wearing like these full leg tights. If anybody there saw him, they were like camo. They were at least here, purple and orange. And he had an audience. He had a bunch of family there, and he went out. He ran awesome. He dropped 46 seconds, and he ended up breaking into our top group. So we're giving him the Tight Finish Award, and especially Aiden is a big time wrestler, but I don't think wrestling's gonna happen. So I'm hoping he just keeps running and ends up doing track, and it's gonna lead into a monster senior year for him in cross. Good job, Aiden. All right, Jake Lawson's up next. Okay, so Lawson again is another senior, but he's a 3-year senior. So I'm going to talk about this later with Devin Conroy, but I went back and looked at some results from 3 years ago, and Devin was like 3rd to the last guy on our PR list, and Jake was the last guy on our PR list. Okay, and I'm not saying that to poke fun at him. He has, in 3 years, he's dropped 8 minutes off of his PR. All right, and I think Jake's a good example for some of you younger guys that struggled to just finish races this year, because that's what he was. And he put in a ton of work the next 3 years. He's a hard worker, he's determined, he's tough, and I really think that he's a great example for all you guys that are sitting around like that 25-minute mark. Is that kind of what it was? 28 minute. He was running 28-minute 3-mile races, and this year he's running in the 20s. All right, so he's a good example of what can happen if you commit and you're consistent and you just go out there and keep putting miles in. We don't know what you're doing next year, right? Maybe Moraine. We haven't decided, but we thank Jake for 3 years. Great job, buddy. Luke Barham is next.
The champion right here.
Oh yeah, I should have mentioned that again. All right, so Luke is he's getting the Freshman Phenom Award. As you guys know, he was first for us in every single race that he ran. He was all conference on Friday night. I'm going to talk more about him in a little bit. So I'm just going to hold off at that point. Good job. Nice job, Luke. All right, Aiden Conroy. Aiden.
Hey, Con.
Come on down. Nice shirt, man.
The champ is here. Okay,
Okay, Aiden is getting the Unfinished Business Award. All right, and those of you who have been around, especially if you ran track last year, you know that Aiden has come a very long way. He worked incredibly hard, not only during track, he had kind of a breakthrough in track, and then he put in a ton of mileage over the summer. 2 races into the year, I thought for sure he would be a consistent top 5 guy. He might even be a top 3 guy. He looked so good. And then he had they called it a stress fracture. We're not sure what it was, but he had an injury that basically derailed the season. Now he's back. He's hungry. He's angry. I think that's good. And I have no doubt that he's gunning for guys already for next year. He's very upset that he's not racing Saturday. I think that's a good thing. And so I have no doubt next year as a senior, he's going to do some great things. Good job, Aiden. All right, Devin Conroy, come on down.
Yes, sir.
All right, Devin is getting Breakthrough at Brother Rice Award.
Breakthrough at Brother Race.
And I'm going to talk more about Devin in a little bit too, so I'm going to keep it kind of short. But just specifically about Brother Rice, those of you that got to watch it, most of you did, unless you were running in the open race. He went out and took second in the open race and ran an unbelievable race. I even wrote it was almost like magical what happened at Brother Rice. I couldn't believe what I was watching. He went out hard and he just hung in there and hung in there and hung in there, and then ended up finishing second against some really good Brother Rice open runners, including some good guys on our team that were in that open race. So more to come on Devin later, but good job. Breakthrough at Brother Rice. All right, Ivan. Ivan is next. Come on out. All right, Ivan is getting the Tip of the Iceberg Award. I give this award out every single year. And I try to just think of the guy that I think has the most upside. And for me, it's Ivan right now. He, I mentioned this to a couple other guys. I know he didn't have the summer that he wanted because of things outside of his control. He wasn't able to get out and run as much as I think, and I know that he wanted to. Because of that, the season was kind of slow in progressing for him. But by the end, on Friday night last week, he ran a 1:03 PR. Looked tough, looked strong, and I think that Ivan, I know I'm saying this about a lot of guys, but I believe it. He's got a chance to be one of our top guys next year as well as a senior. Good job, Ivan. All right, John Farley. Who's Farley? All right, Farley is getting the finisher award. So, literally last year I talked about the exact same thing with him, in that he just kind of like hung around for most of the year, and then when the big time races came, he ran really, really well. And that's exactly what he did last Friday night at conference. He had a 32-second PR. Now, unlike Ivan, I think he could have run a lot over the summer and simply didn't. Right? And my challenge to him, as well as his buddy Camille, which I'll talk about in a minute, is that they come to practice on day 1 next year in good shape. Because I think we can do some dangerous things with both of them if that happens. All right? So I want him to work hard in June and July so that we can get a bunch of awards in August, September, October. All right, good job, John. Here you go. All right, Lewis, come on down. All right, Lewis is our last senior, 4-year guy. And I'm going to talk more about Lewis in a minute too, so I'm going to keep it short with him. But we're giving him the Fast Finish Award. He had a 1:52 PR at conference, and I thought he ran a really gutsy race, hung in there, kept waiting for him to fade. It just looked like he was having a hard time. He hung in there, he ran well, and again, I'm going to talk more about him in a minute, but thanks for 4 good years, Lewis. All right, Melky's not here. Sadri.